Hello everybody, my name is Swabby Player and welcome back to Five Nights at Freddy's The Silver Eyes Novel. We are, where we, um, checked off and let's go. Oh, their first night in the house. Charlie was afraid to sleep alone. She did not remember the night, but her father had told her about it often enough that the story had taken on the quality of memory. She she sat up and wailed until her father came to find her. Until the scooped her until he scooped her up mm, and held her and promised her he would make sure she was never alone again. The next morning, he took her by the hand and led her to the garage, where he set to work keeping that promise. The first of his inventions was a, a purple rabbit. That sounds like the purple guy's pet. Now gray with age from years of sitting in the sunlight. Her father had named him Theodore. Oh, that sounds like the Alvin and the Chipmunks one. Was the side uh was the size of a 3-year-old child. Her size at the time, and he had a plush fur, shining eyes, and a dapper red bow tie. That sounds like Bonnie. Whoa, no, no, no way, no way. Don't let him in. He didn't do much, only waved a hand, tilted his head to the side, and said in her father's voice, "I love you, Charlie." But it was enough to give her a night watcher, someone, someone to keep her company when she could not sleep. Right now, Theodore sat in a white wicker chair in in the in the in the far corner of the room. Charlie waved at him, but not activated. He did not wave back. Uh, After Theodore, the toys got more complex. Some worked and some did not. Some seemed to have permanent glitches, and others simply did not appeal to Charlie's childish imagination. Um, she knew her father took those back to his workshop and recycled them for parts. Though um, she did not like to watch them uh, dismantled, uh, but the the ones that were kept, those she loved, and they were here. Now, looking at her expectantly, smiling, Charlie pushed a button beside her bed. It gave way stiffly, but nothing happened. She pushed it again, holding it down longer, and this time across the room with the weary creak of metal on metal, the unicorn began to move. That sounds so creepy. Okay, let's keep going. The unicorn, who Charlie had named Stanley, for some reason she could not no longer remember, was made of metal and had been painted glossy white, and it trundled around the room on a circular track, bobbing its head stiffly up and down. The track squealed now as it rounded the corner and became to a stop beside where Charlie uh, sat on the bed. She got down and knelt beside him on the floor, patting his flank. His glossy paint was chipped and peeling, and his face had given over to rust, so that his eyes gazed lividly out of decay. You need a new coat of paint. Stanley, Charlie said aloud. The unicorn gazed ahead, unresponsive. At, at the foot of the bed, there was a wheel made of patched together metal. It had always reminded her of something she might find of a submarine. Charlie turned it. It stuck for a moment, uh, and then gave away, rotating as it always did. Across the room, the smallest closet door swung open, and out sailed Ella on her track. A child-size doll bearing a teacup, and saucer in her tiny hands, like an offering. Ella's plaid dress was still crisp, and her patent uh, leather shoes still shone. Perhaps in the closet she had been protected from the damage of the damp. Charlie had an identical outfit back when she and Ella were the same height. "Hi, Ella," she said softly, as the wheel unwound. Ella retreated to the closet again, the door closing behind her. Charlie followed to the closet. That sounds like Foxy in the closet wall. The closets had been built to align with the slant of the ceiling, and there were three of them. Ella lived in the short one, which was about 3.5 feet tall. Next to it, it was next to it was one a foot or so higher, and a third closest to the bedroom door. It was the same height as the rest of the room. She smiled, remembering, "Why do you have three closets?" John had demanded. Um, the first time he came over, she looked at him blankly confused by the question. "'Cause that's how many there are," she said finally. Then, defensive, she pointed to the littlest one, that one's Ella's anyway. She added. John nodded, satisfied. Charlie shook her head and opened the door to the middle closet, or tried to. The knob stopped with a jolt. It was locked. She rattled it a few times, but gave up without much conviction. She stayed crouched. Uh, she stayed crouched low to the floor and glanced up the tallest closet. Big girl clo- uh, her big girl closet that she would someday grow into. You won't need it until you're bigger. Well, we finished chapter 1. You see that 2% thing? That means that we're in chapter 2, and I was reading chapter 2 every time. So, yeah, we might have to stop there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out my other videos that I've done. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.